Alright, I welcome you to this channel, and this is a basic channel for agriculture, and is to update farmers on different development that are for core in research and also in a practical field across the fishery and other sector of agriculture. So this very moment, I'm going to talk to you about the cost of feeding fish and the value of the field. So the cost of feeding fish and the value of the feed. So the topic may sound somehow maybe disturbing, but don't worry, I will explain the different aspects to that. And on normal ground, this shouldn't have been a topic to discuss. But with the present economy, so I'm telling you, if you don't check your cost and make sure you reduce them very well, you must as well be losing many things, not knowing until you do your harvesting. But now I'll be talking about the cost of feeding and the value. So when I talk about cost, I'm talking about the total amount of money you spend to buy a particular feed, including the money you spend to transport it from where you buy it to your farm. That is the total cost you incur on that particular field. And the value of that feed is after you use the feed now, what you have at the end of everything. So imagine like just like you buy 1 kg of feed now, and you, for instance, you buy 1 kg of feed for 500 naira, and you take it to your farm with just 10 naira. That's 510 naira. So that's the cost of that feed. And then if you use that 1 kilo of feed to feed your fish, so what weight do you have? Let's assume you have 1 kg as well. So what's the value? The value of that feed is the 1 kg you have at the end of the feeding now. So that's what you'll be working on. And then for you to be able to match things together, you must be able to control the price, the cost you incur on particular feed. And then in related to what? To the value you will deduct, you get from that feed. And that's most reason why I'm doing this video now. Without much delay, you will know, for instance now, if you stock 1,000 pieces of fish in your farm, it will cost you nothing less than 1 ton of feed to feed them. As some people who have done the research, and I will tell you the one I've done and the one I've had, and they are almost similar, according to feeding regime and other things. Now if you stock your fish from juvenile, so you use 66 bag of feed to feed them, and that 66 bag times 15, if you multiply the 66 bag by 15, you understand now, you get something like 950. So average notes, you have at least 1,000 kg, which is 1 ton of fish feed to produce 1 ton of fish, as the case may be. But if I will tell you the exact explanation to that now. Most time it's not always like that. So if you start from juvenile and you want to get accurate results, so if you use foreign feed, according to some research I've seen, so they believe you have 1,000 kg for 1,000 kg of feed, which is that converting ratio now is 1:1. That is 1:1. You have 1 kg of feed, so it's giving you 1 kg of fish. So, but if you are using other methods, which I know very well, so you rather use 1,500 kilo of feed to achieve 1 kg of fish. I've done that and I have my result with me. So, and that's very better. Now, going by the cost of production now, if you use 1,000 kg of some feed, I won't mention any feed here now. So to do your production, and let's say the cost of that 1,000 kg, let's say it's just 1 million naira. Let's say a kg is taken to be 1,000 naira in Nigerian money now. And then another feed now, That one, let's say that one is taken up to 1,100 and 1,500 to give you 1 kg, and 1 kg, 1 kilo of that feed, the one of 1,500 kilo, let's say that one is 900. So you know you are going to incur more cost on that one that is 1,500 to attain 1 kg of feed of fish, rather than the one that is just 1,000 naira per kilo, and 1 kilo is giving you 1 kg of fish. So that's a different thing. But what I want to drive in is that the value of your feed is basically what you would deduct from that feed after feeding it to your fish. And you have to be very careful about that. If not, with planning your farm, you should know that what you are going to do on average note, there's no way you will not spend up to 1 ton of feed to feed your fish. You will use 1 ton of feed to feed your fish to get at least 1 kg on average note. I've not seen anything less than that. Of course, some people have argued that they have something less than that, like they have 900 kilogram for 1 kg. I don't know about that. They may be very correct with what they are doing, because this is open and dynamic system. I must be sincere with you. Open and dynamic system where things varies, it's an open system where a lot of factors need to be checked. Some people, they might have a lot of things they add to, they give as supplements, probably they have duckweed and the likes, and then when those people are talking, you have to go with them to the field and know exactly what they have on their field before you can now criticize or say anything about what they are talking about. But then, if you are not using any other thing at all, you want to feed your fish from fingerlings to table size of 1 kg, you will use nothing less than 1,000 kilo of feed. Now depends on the kind of feed you want to buy. So the value of your feed now is what the feed gives you as after you might have used the feed. So that's the value. If you are not looking at that in buying the feed you are buying in the market, that this very feed now, what kind of value am I going to deduce from this? You might have been making mistake in curing, because feed as it is today, you have different feed in market, and they will tell you this one is working, the other one is not working, this one is working, the other one is not working. But more than working, what is their price? And then after buying it, what value is it giving you as a person? If you can't check and balance that two things, of course, you may not be thinking of, okay, probably at the end of everything, whatever I have is what I work with. But if you continue that way, it's going to be a kind of distraction and confusion. But what I suggest is that I've seen farmers, they start their fish with foreign feed. I won't mention any feed, the name of any feed now. They start with foreign feed, and by the time they get to post juvenile or jumbo, they start using our locally produced one here, because the price are a little bit cheaper, and I really commend that, and it's working. But then we also have some feed, the locally produced one that are sink type. People have been using them and they have been working effectively in their farm. But now, what do you need to check in feed in particular? Over the years, I've seen farmers, they will tell me, if you want to know the best feed for fish, check the odor, the smell, how they perceive it, you see the odor and the lights, and of course, odor is part of it, because the fish, they need something that will attract them to eat the feed. But then, if you take any feed to your farm, give it to your fish, feed the fish with it, they will tell you more about that feed, because it's their feed. The way they will accept it, we call it acceptability. You have to check, how do they rush it? That's number one. You need to check acceptability. If they accept it, that means the feed is palatable. So palatability, you can't even know it because their taste bulb and everything is different from ours. But then you will know it from their reaction. Then, if after acceptability, which I told you that is palatability that will make them to accept it, then you now check for digestibility. You may not have any lab around you to do that for you, but the simple way to know that is what I want to tell you now. How will you know the particular feed digest in the fish? Feed them very early in the morning, let's say around 7 o'clock in the morning or 8 or thereabouts, depending on your feeding regime. I've talked about feeding regime, you will see it. You can check out my other video. After giving them that feed for that moment, leave them till the evening around, let's say 6 or 7. Go there again and give them the same feed. The feed will tell you whether the one they've ate before, they've digested it or not. If you go there in the evening, don't just throw the feed inside and run back. No. As a result of something getting to the water body, they can draw their attention and they will all rush there. Rushing there doesn't mean they are eating. Rushing to the point where something just steer water doesn't mean they are eating, particularly when you are using sinking feed. You have to be very careful. Wait patiently. Introduce the feed. Just small quantity first. See what they do with that, particularly if you are using sinking type. The way they rush it, introduce another one. Just like seconds, not up to minutes. Let's say you introduce one now, wait like 30 seconds. Then you introduce another one, wait like 30 seconds again. As you keep on introducing, if truly they are eating, you will see them remaining at that spot, waiting for the next one to come. But if they are not eating, what we see is that the first set that came and checked whether something has dropped or whatever, or if the feed is they are not accepting that feed is up, we discover that after some, if you try first 30 seconds, second 30 seconds, third one, fourth one, you discover some fish. It will be somewhere swimming in their own. We know that thing is not that thing you are giving to us is not part of what we need now. But it's acceptable by the feed very well. You see them remain in that spot, waiting for anything coming to eat it. That means they digested the one they ate in the morning. So that is why they have the free appetite. They have the appetite now. They have the appetite now to wait for the one they are giving to them. So without going to lab to do any analysis at all, with that we can know that this feed, and if they eat, the one you give them in the morning, they finish that one, and in the evening again you are giving them another one, and they are rushing it and they are eating it. When the intake is high enough, that gives you more than 70% assurance that the digestion and assimilation that we need to better performance is okay, even without going to any lab. That's a simple way to know. And then when you know that when you discover that the value is increasing and they are eating and you can do what we call test cropping in your farm. It's very simple. How do we test crop? Once you have feed them for 2 weeks, I advise someone to take 2 weeks. 2 weeks, use scoop net or normal harvesting net. Take 10 out of the fish, put them on the weighing scale, see their weight, record it down, keep them back in the water, continue with the feed, and make sure you give them enough feed. Because you don't get exactly feed because maybe you don't have enough money, giving them managing it, so if you are managing it, they will also be managing to grow. But if you are giving them to satiation, I'm telling you, just make sure you stop what you can feed. Not just what you think you can feed, what you know you have the capacity to feed. And then another 10 days, go there again. 10 days or 2 weeks, go there again. Pick 10 at random as you have picked there. Weigh them. I'm telling you, there must be difference. That difference is what tells you that, oh, my fish are doing well. And if my brother, at the end of that 2 weeks, you go there, for instance, you weigh 400 grams. 10 fish weight 400 grams for instance, and next 2 weeks you go there 10 fish at random weight 300 grams. That's a bad measure. You can actually do that. Release 10, pick another 10 again, so that you can be sure of what you are doing. You notice it's still 300 grams against 400 grams earlier on. So something is something wrong. But if you see the difference, probably the way 400 500 grams, 400 grams initially, and now you're having 500 grams. So there is difference. That difference is what you should keep in your mind, that okay, how do I make them better? Because the purpose and aim of any farmer is to make profit. So when you make sure that now during your test cropping is the value the feed you are using is giving you. You want to know, I've just used one bag now of particular feed, let's say 3 mm. Now I did my test cropping now this very week, and I record it. I have that data with me. Even if you have a very large pond, you don't need to disturb yourself. Just make sure you have your pond numbered. So what you weigh in pond A should be recorded for pond A. What you weigh in pond B should be recorded for pond B. It's not possible that you have the same value for all at the same time, even if you are using the same water body and giving them the same treatment. So this open and dynamic system, I keep on saying it, but then you can be sure that what you have as a variation may not be too wide like that. So that will help you to know if truly you are making progress in your production, and it will also help you to know the point of clear exit. There are some farmers, I've met them and I've seen their production. I know this one, they started very poor, and going with poor one with heavy feed again is additional cost on its own. It's not all problem that you can rectify, particularly when you have stocked the fish, and from first 6 weeks or 8 weeks, which is 2 months. There are some problems when you start with at that moment. To correct them will be very difficult, because the fish might have been runt, and until you have a runt fish, nothing you will do to it. That's why I also advise people to get fish from a reputable breeder who will tell them the truth about what they have. Yes, it's better that way, because when you start with good breed and with good feed, I'm telling you, that's the basis for your profit. Now, so if you know that this very one I'm using, I'm not making good growth, I'm not getting good growth, better one from it, it's better you quit that system of production and then get another set of fish. It's better that way than keeping it like, okay, I want to make sure I reach 1 kg before I dispose them. And the fish, after feeding them like 100 kg, feeding them to the point of weighing 500 grams, so they are still weighing 150 grams. You should know that these ones, they are out of point, so you should go for another one. So that's what you can do to curb excesses in feed, because the more you throw feed inside, if you are making progress, you will know by test cropping them on a weekly basis like that. But the situation that you will wait, throw everything inside water until 6 months, until 3 months, until 7 months, until 8 months before you now know exact value you have in water. That system of production is over. We shouldn't go that way again. Make sure you do your test cropping week 2 weeks interval at a minimum, and then some can do it more on monthly basis, but it depends on you, so that you will not incur loss. I believe this video has helped farmers. If this video has helped you, it's a agribusiness channel updating, telling farmers what is right, so that we reduce our costs and maximize our profit. Next video coming in, we'll be talking about how to compound your feed and the feed, the ingredient that you need that will be suitable for you to combine your feed if you have feed me around you, what you ask for, and how you get them, so that to save cost in fish production. I believe this channel, this information has helped you. Please subscribe to this channel and help me to share to other farmers. Share it in farm groups so that they can also benefit from it. I remain your agribusiness analyst. Abiodun Maotokikese is my name. Expert in hybrid production and marketing. Thanks so much. I love you all.